Hello and welcome to another episode of Kingdom Innovation Podcast. You guys know that this is where heaven ideas become a reality. So I like to have guests that are creative and that are getting ideas that don't exist out there. So I'm excited. And today is a very, very special show. I think it's my first fruit. We're on Hebrew month of Adar, which is the last month of the Hebrew calendars. You guys know I'm all about the Hebraic. Um, I am having for the first time generations connecting, generations I worked with, older and younger, and how this is working out. So I'm going to get to the details in a minute. But before that, you guys know the drill. Like, share the episode, please. We want the ideas of God to go out there, but also we want people to be seen, to be recognized with their ideas, because that's the only way we can give glory to God. If nobody sees our product, then what's the point? So please like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends if you have a kid that's really creative. This will be super encouraging. You're going to see an amazing young girl and how brilliant she is. And I'm sure your kids are brilliant too. So share it with your kids. It's going to be a fun interview today. If you are felt in your heart that you would like to continue supporting us, supporting the show, supporting our camps. We do a lot of retreats, creative retreats where we get the young people together and we pray that God touches their heart. You can reach me at laurosina.malvina@gmail.com and we can talk on how you can partner. Some of these kids need help financially to support their businesses. So if you would like, if you're a lawyer, we need to patent a few things, or if you financially want to support them, or maybe you have a print shop, maybe you can make us t-shirts with some of the things we're going to talk about. Give us a call or actually email me at laurosina.malvina@gmail.com. I like to give thanks to Inside Now because they always help me with my podcast. So thank you, Pastor Chris. I use their platform. I believe in partnership. So you never see him, but he's right behind the scenes. So thank you so much, Inside Now, for allowing me to use the platform so this can become possible. So without further delay, I am going to introduce my guests. I have more than one today, which I'm super excited. So this is the first time I'm going to be talking, this first fruit, to an older generation. Not that she's older, but a person who I worked with when Tori was a tiny, tiny little girl. And I want to hear from her on how has this process worked for her. I have done a lot of workshops, and she's one of my loyal followers. I know Hannah is always behind whatever it is I'm doing. So I'm very grateful to have two generations today to talk about the impact of how creativity, presence of God, worship, those kinds of things that are, for me are critical, have impacted them, and what is the result. You only know them by their fruit. So today I would like to introduce my amazing friend, Hannah Wells. Hi, Hannah.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. Hannah is a dear, dear friend I met in Wyoming. So I'm going to say my part, and I want her to introduce herself. I met her in Wyoming, and I think she's an amazing human being who's done amazing. I'm very proud of her because it hasn't been easy, but it's been amazing. So welcome, Hannah. Tell me a little bit about you so my audience can get to know you and know your journey so that we can connect it with how you've helped Tori to where she's at.
Sure. So my name is Hannah, and I homeschool my kids. That's mainly what I spend my time doing. But I also love to be creative with painting mainly, or just like helping my kids with what they're inspired with.
Yes. Now, Hannah, were you always doing this? I want you to talk a little bit for those homeschool moms, what the journey of homeschooling, how it started. Because I don't know if it was always successful, but it's good for moms or people that are getting ready to homeschool their children. A lot of my generations are getting married and having children, so they choose to homeschool. What was that like for you?
We actually started during COVID when everything shut down. Uh,
Yes.
so everyone was sent home. So we got our kind of first taste with homeschool then. And then there was just some things going on in my older daughter's life that just felt out of control, and I didn't really know like what to do or how to help her. Um, so like the next year, I kept my younger two home because they were okay with it, and my older two went to public school, and we just kind of started, I guess, started our journey in homeschool because I wanted a different way
Yeah.
because the first way wasn't working.
Yes. Now, Hannah, for you as an individual, I want you to tell me a little bit about how, between your relationship with God and your creativity, what would you say, how has that come to be? What are the things that have helped you maybe? I know you're super creative. By the way, for those of you listening, Hannah is extreme in her creativity, which I would say from a person that have interacted with her. I hope she doesn't mind me sharing this. That's the hardest thing. Being a super creative person, I can relate, which is why I have a passion for this. Um, it's very difficult to fit in. It's very difficult to what you see make sense of it in the world. So it creates a tension. And I see Tori going, yeah, we know what that feels like. Our brains are always going. And I want you to talk a little bit about that connection between your very creative brain and your relationship with God, because the ultimate goal is how do we balance the two?
Okay. I've kind of learned that I need a lot of like quiet personal time, and that working doesn't work for me, like a normal job doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And when I kind of allowed myself just to be who I was made to be, it was really easy to connect with God. You just kind of listen to how you're feeling,
Yeah.
and that helped me a lot, just to have personal time and quiet time. What else? Well, you really helped me just learning how like God speaks to you with creativity, and like the things that God shows you, and it changes your life.
Yeah. Hey, one thing I want to add to what she just said. She said she doesn't work. That's a lie. I want to correct that.
Okay.
So she may not work outside her home, but her job, which is probably a lot harder because it's 24/7, is taking care of her kids and embracing their creativity, embracing their ideas. And that's what you're going to see on the show today. So, and the reason why I wasn't planning on having her on the show, so I decided to interview her as well, because I think it's important for parents of younger kids that are like the one you're going to see today, super creative and super productive. You can bog them down into what the world says they should be and cancel out that flow of creativity that definitely is a wisdom that comes from heaven. If not, the devil cannot be creative. So creativity really comes from the Lord. It's what you do with it that becomes holy or not. So I wanted to say that she does work very hard, and she really spent a lot of time with her kids, which is really what her work is. So I want to acknowledge that, because a lot of people don't think it's real work because you don't get paid. But there is a salary in heaven, I promise you. There are a lot of rewards. So I wanted to say that. So Hannah, would you say it was easy?
No, no, not at all. It was really hard to let go of like the worldview of how things are supposed to be, like especially with school, like they have to do certain things and it has to be, 7 subjects. I had to really let all of that go, and just we had to kind of find our own way. Like Tori's different person, Calvin is a different person, and so we kind of just had to let God show us what we needed to do.
Yes. Yeah, and I love another thing you said was find who you were created to be. And I think it's the same thing. It's not the calling or the job or the ministry or what you do, but you were created to be something, and that's really the will of God, is to be who He created you to be. So I thank you for making time and being vulnerable, because I caught her off guard. But I felt that it was important to talk to the person that has raised Tori, and not just you, but your husband, who I also know works with a lot of, Boys and Girls Club and other things that are connected to the younger generation. I think that's really, really valuable. So thank you, Hannah, for making time and space and sharing of the cuff like that, because I think it matters. So thank you very much. But I wanted today to talk about the artist, and her name is Tori Wells. Welcome, Tori.
Hi.
Yes. So Tori is a beautiful, beautiful 12-year-old. I want to get this right. 12. We're 12 now.
Yeah.
So I met Tori when she was a tiny little thing. It's been a long time. How old was she? 6, maybe?
Yeah, she was little. Yeah,
She was
5.
tiny. She was a tiny little thing. And I remember in church in Wyoming, Pastor Candy, if she's watching, all these little kids, sitting around, and we did a lot of creative things way back when. But thank you, Tori, for joining me on the show. I know, is sometimes it can be difficult for a young person, but I think you do very well. So we can have great conversations. So welcome. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself, Tori? What do you like? What are the things that you enjoy? And what do you think people should know about you?
Um, Hello, my name is Tori. I really like doing a lot of kinds of art. I mainly draw with alcohol markers and just pencils and that sort of stuff. And I really like sorry, I'm trying to process it.
Oh, it's okay. That's okay. I know what you like.
I like a bunch of different things. I mainly like a lot of video games, the more undercover ones that are pretty underrated.
Yeah.
The
The
ones
ones
that,
nobody uses.
yeah, like ones that aren't made by big studios. And
Yeah.
I also like reading.
You
Uh,
like reading. What kind of books do you like to read?
I read anime books. They're called manga. I,
Okay. Oh yeah, manga. I like painting manga. Yeah. So can you tell the audience what manga is all about? Not everybody knows what manga is. I do. But they
um, it's just mainly like Japanese books, but they are made in English, so like people from who can speak English can read them.
understand. Hmm.
Um, you read from left to right, or right to
Yeah.
left.
From right to left.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I love what you just said, because that's how Hebrew works. So the original language of the Bible goes from right to left. All nations on that side of the world go right to left. We go from left to right. So something has to be fixed around here. So, so tell me, by the way, I would like to show everybody, I need to get her name here so I can show my button. We're going to talk a little bit about her creations and her drawings. I'm wearing one of her pieces. So, Tori, tell me, what do you like to create? I know you like to draw, you like to read, but what do you like to create? What is your favorite thing to create?
I like drawing my favorite characters, and
Yes.
I also really like drawing like my own characters that I've created.
Yes. Yes. So how do you get ideas for these characters?
They just come up, I guess.
They pop in your head.
Yeah.
Okay, and what is the process? Do you um, sketch them first? Do you see them in your mind and then come really fast and make them, or how does that work?
I see them in my mind, and then I sketch them out, see if I like it, and then if I don't, I change it a bit until I find a thing that I like. And then when I do, I make a good art piece of them.
Okay. What do you use? Do you use markers or acrylics?
I use alcohol markers.
Alcohol markers. Don't smell too many of those. They smell strong. Yeah. So do you like I noticed you like really bright colors. I know with markers, sometimes you have to have the bright colors. You don't use any other media?
Um, I like. I do use other media.
Yeah.
Paint.
Oh yeah, I paint. I paint.
Yeah.
I do play. I do that sort of stuff.
Okay. So when you paint, is it your characters or is it other things?
It's usually other things, like
Okay.
random
Mm.
stuff.
Yeah, I like that. It's good to keep the creativity going, even if it doesn't have purpose. A lot of the times, and this is a plug for those that are creative out there, people get really bogged down on the art has to be sold, or people have to like it, or have to show it. And sometimes it's such an intimate process. For me, it's like they're part of myself. We need to embrace what we create, because it's really something. When you think about it, it doesn't exist. So some of your characters were just in your head, and then you make them come alive. So I want people that are creative out there that struggle with their creativity to embrace that. So let's get down to business now. I understand that you have a new business that is your mom runs the business, for those legalistic out there. Um, she is only 12, I get it. But she has all these ideas that need to be marketed. And I'm going to put the name of your shop, and I want you to talk a little bit about how you came up with the name, why that name. I'm sure you thought about it. It's called the Nerdy Sleigh Shop, and it's in Etsy. So, talk to me about this amazing name.
Uh, you know,
It has to do with nerds. Go ahead.
I made it because I'm kind of a nerd. I like a lot of weird stuff.
Yes.
Sleigh, just because it felt empty.
I love it.
Weird slang that people like used like a year ago, 2 years.
Okay.
And then the shop is self-explanatory.
Good. So we can, yeah, I know you guys are building the shop. So if people are interested, so that before we get into people interested, talk to me about what will you carry in the shop?
I'm mostly gonna be doing video game merch.
Okay.
Because there's just not enough merch for me, in my opinion.
Okay. So you have a market that you haven't been, you don't find the merchandise that you like. And there is a customer out there that needs this kind of merchandise. So talk to me about what is it that you can't find in other shops that you felt you have to create this one?
I usually just can't find like prints I like, or they're just too expensive, in my opinion. So I just usually make my own. I also really like using Etsy because it's it's another way to sell their stuff.
Yes.
Mm.
This is a 12-year-old people, but she's in business. So this is what we're talking about. Okay, so you like Etsy because Etsy carries all kinds of things. I love Etsy because you go from art to fabrics to food. They have everything pretty much. So let's talk about the merchandise now. So you explained to me that you are having things that you can find, nerdy things to go with the name, that other people don't carry or is too expensive. So I placed an order, by the way. I got to show my products. So this is one of the pins I ordered. I had 3. She made them for me. I hope you guys can see. This is one. like it's like the moon. And this one is like a flower. This will go with my other jacket, my jean jacket. So I may wear this one on Friday for my birthday. Um, this one. So I also have. Oh, I don't have it with me. My keychain because I had a keychain. Hannah ordered a keychain for me, and he has a flower that's on fire. So I have that one on my keys. If I can get to it before the show ends, I'll show it. So I know you have the keychains, the little characters. You have the buttons. Is there anything else that you are carrying?
I might try to start selling clay stuff, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna see how that works out for me.
Okay. So I want people to know that this is important. This matters. And like she said, there is a community out there that doesn't get to see this kind of merchandise because it's not available in other things. And I know there are more products in the work, more ideas. I myself have a ton of ideas. So tell me a little bit about the character, especially like this one, Jackie, I think is her name.
Yeah.
Yes.
I came up with her. A pretty long time ago. My mother here. My mother. um, I came. My mom told me that you wanted a pin of her, and I decided to remake her.
Okay. Yes, I do. I did ask for a specific character for me. I wanted something that I have another one, which is my favorite. If I can find it in here somewhere, I have my cards. I lose everything in my office. But I had another one because she also make prints, and Hannah had written a card to me, and he had one of her other characters. So I know she has many, and they're creative. They're super cool. So do you have any of them with you right now, Tori? So, and I'm gonna put you on the screen. Let me see if I can put you. Go ahead, show what you have, and I'll try to find my cards here.
Yeah, I have my first character here. His name is Apollo. He's a flower. Cool. He runs a TV show in my little thing.
Your mind. And by the way, I love that they have. By the way, these people have personalities. Okay, they have characteristics that are unique to each person or to each creature. Let's call it creature in case they're not human. So this one is Apollo, and he runs a TV show. What kind of TV show?
Like a kid's show, because
a kid's show. I like it that his hair is like a flower. Yeah. Was that intentional?
Yes, it was.
Okay, so show it. I love it. I think I'm going to buy that one. Apollo. I have somebody who can have that pin. So save it for me, okay? Now, okay. Can we get more than one of Apollo, or do you only make one?
I made another, but this is the only other one. This is Nico. Oh. They're like
put it back on. I want to look at it.
Sorry.
Okay. So tell me about Nico.
They just kind of coexist in the world. They're really sweet. They like helping out the community and all that fun stuff.
I love that. So these characters interact with each other for a better society.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, what will be a better society? Let's hear Tori's version. All people listen.
Mainly like no racism, no really bad crimes, better justice for people, and just world peace.
Yeah, you heard it here on the show for the first time. Generation Alpha is interested in peace and justice and unity. That doesn't mean we all have to agree on the same things, but we come together for a better world. Cool. I like Nico. So Nico and Apollo interact together. And what kind of interactions do they have?
Just really friendly ones. They're like friends, I'd say.
Okay. Okay. Any other?
Not that I have with me.
Not okay. So you show me two, and we have Jackie. Can you tell me about Jackie? What does Jackie do?
Um, Jackie is a barista. She's really calm about everything,
Oh,
and
I like her.
she like also really likes just hanging out.
Yes. She's kind of like me, coffee and hanging out. Two very important things. So, okay, so these are some of the products that you can get on Nerdy Slay Shop at Etsy. And you can also reach out to me in case you have questions about the product. Let's say you can't get on the shop for whatever reason. You can message me at larosina.malvina@gmail.com, and I will make sure that Tori and Hannah get whatever request you guys have. Now, if we have a big order, let's say, I don't know, a kids club would like to have a lot of Apollos. Do you think we can make a lot?
I think so. We just might need to buy more materials.
Okay, good. So I would like to put out there to my audience, if you're interested in funding Tori to enlarge this business, reach out to me, larosina.malvina@gmail.com, because the goal is this. The goal is that these characters are put out there, that they have a story, that they tell a story of what this generation, what's important to this generation, that they're using their creativity to get their message out, but also, is encouraging them to grow in this process, in being creative. Is clean, it doesn't have any underlying message out there. It's just good art. So if we can support her, that would be awesome. Now, Tori, tell me, is there anything you would like people to know about you or the shop or your art?
It's
Go ahead.
it's all like handmade and takes a lot of time. I put effort into each pin to make sure it's great for everybody.
Yes. So we're talking about the handmade, the value of the handmade, not the reproduction of massive things. So unique Jackie is mine. So it is important. One thing, when I interview her before, she and I had a chat. One of the things that's important to her, and she said it, is that people know how hard it is to get these things done. People look at our art and don't value it. Sometimes that's a beef of mine. People think it's just painting. No, it's our our sweat, our heart, our emotions in that piece. It's you in that piece, and that there's no price for that. So when we price certain things, people go, "Oh God, I'm not going to pay that. What am I going to do with that?" You got to realize that's part of our lives. So it is important for people to know that it takes a lot of time to get pieces done. And sometimes, but one question I have for you, I didn't ask you before. Are you a perfectionist?
No.
No. Okay, good. I'm like it. Because sometimes we try to get too perfect and then we lose our creativity. So proud of you, Tori. Anything else that Hannah or Tori would like to share with the audience before we close?
I don't think so. No?
Yeah.
I think I'm good too.
Actually, before I go, I do have another question. Can you tell me, Tori, how do you see Jesus in all this? Because my show is all about getting people to see creativity and in Christ, like in the art or in the creation, whatever it is. So if you can add anything, that'd be great.
Lori.
I can see him through how I want to make all my characters get along together, and how I also want to share my art with people who just can't do it. And I also want to like make them happy with it.
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead.
I've seen Tori's art really impact people. I had a friend And this thought just came to my mind. I asked God who I could bless because I wanted to show someone God's love specifically on Valentine's Day. And
Yes.
God brought up a person, and he also brought up she loves her pets. So I was like, well, I can have Tori paint or do pins of her pets. And she did. And I brought it to my friend, and she was deeply impacted. Like, the best gift she's ever had, and it meant so much to her. And then another time we were eating at a restaurant, and there was this waitress, and she seemed really flustered. And in my mind, I thought Tori should draw her a picture. I was just thinking this, and Tori happened to draw on a napkin, and she gave it to the waitress, and it just made her day. And I didn't tell Tori or anything. It was just something that happened. So I know it really blesses other people. Her art.
Okay. So I love that. I love that art can become alive, and become an extension. Sometimes, especially for a 12-year-old, and if you notice, she's very well spoken. She's not afraid of, being on the show. A lot of time it's hard to talk to a child, but their expression in their art can have a volume of things said. So, it means a lot for a person to receive something made by you, Tori. So thank you for being willing to share your art. Because, sometimes kids are embarrassed or they ashamed. They don't like to show it. So thank you for doing that. That's awesome. Yeah. Okay. So what's coming next? Do you have any future plans?
Right now I'm just really focusing on this. My more future plans. I do want to make because I love them so much. I do want to eventually make a video game, just because they people put a lot of effort into them. You have to make music, you have to make art, you have to make a storyline, you have to do hours upon hours of coding and a bunch of other things. And people make a bunch because they want to spread their ideas through them.
Yes. Okay, so you heard it here. And if you are interested, if you're a videographer, you want a video, we have a potential idea. So you can reach me. So I want to thank you, Hannah. I want to thank you, Tori. Thank you, Tori, for sharing your characters with us and sharing your ideas. This is really important. I pray that, people hear it and get inspired, and that realize that there is purpose in this, that it impacts not just your life as an individual creating things, but also impact those that get your art or understand your heart. Because sometimes owning a piece of art, Monet, for example, he's dead, but you hang it in your house. Monet's not there, but you give it so much value that we pay, millions and thousands of dollars for a piece. So the same here. This is a different kind of art. This is art with a soul. It's got the Holy Spirit in it. So it goes beyond just a pretty piece. It has meaning and it has purpose. So thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Tori. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for sharing. It's important you share this, especially with other kids that, like Tori, may not have a community. The nerdy community would like to come together. So maybe we start a club. So thank you so much. And we will connect next time with a different guest, different ideas. And thank you so much, everybody, for listening. And I pray that this will impact any person that listens to, that has kids, that is homeschooling, especially the moms. Sometimes it's really, really hard to raise, like Hannah said, in the traditional sense of raising kids or schooling kids is tough. So it is possible. And if you have any questions, you can always reach me. And thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time.